What's up, Goobers? Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. The response to the last video I made on this game was ridiculous, honestly, and it seemed like there was a whole lot of interest in me playing it again and maybe getting a little bit better. Now, I'm telling y'all, today we will be reaching orbit, I promise you. And I said I'd like to reach orbit last time, but we saw how that went. I'd really like to make it into orbit today. And based on the response to the last video, I actually have a lot of comments that should help me do that, because I'm not looking anything up. Now, if you watched the last video, you should know... Ooh, I like the look of that one a lot. Yeah, that'll work. If you watched the last video, you should know about how good I am at this game. So really, as long as I can keep getting rockets off the ground, then it'll be a considerable improvement to last time. Now listen, I'm not gonna say this is what a spaceship's supposed to look like, but I figure I don't care. So things should go alright here. Well, we lost a wing, and we don't have any oxidizer. You know, I suppose looking at this thing, you probably could have known that it was going to fail, but... Well, fair's fair in the name of progress. Oh, see, that actually didn't go too bad. You know, somehow, Jebediah and Bill survived, so I consider that a good launch. Now, I saw someone say something about solid rock or solid fuel boosters being really funny. These here. What's just the biggest and baddest? S233 Clydesdale solid fuel booster. Whoa. You know, this seems entirely unsafe to put on a spaceship. We'll do 8 of them. Now listen, I'm not gonna say it looks cool, although it kinda does. You can see Jebediah crammed way down in there. But in my opinion, this should work flawlessly, right? I mean, if there's ever been a time to get to space, this is the time to do it. I suppose I could have seen that coming, yeah. Okay, so I've cut it down to 3 boosters. That seems to be the most I can get to fit without them clipping, and I'm curious if actually just having these, they'll fly just fine. Honestly, takeoff seems to be going pretty well here. Our primary engine has run out of fuel, but something tells me it's not doing most of the heavy lifting here. I'm sure it's not an issue that the entire craft is glowing bright red. Well, flight got a little less stable, but we did clear 100,000 and nothing broke. So assuming I can get her to touch down safely, that's a very successful first real launch. Well, I think I went a little bit too far. Something tells me he's not making it back home. I'll tell your family you loved him, Jebediah. Alright, now although it seems like power was the least of our issues, I can't help but be curious about something. Give me 1 second. Now listen, I can understand how looking at this you might think it's a little bit unsafe for the pilot. But seeing as Jebediah is currently stranded in the vacuum of space, we've actually taken Valentina Kerman on this one, so, you know, maybe she's better. And launch. Okay. Didn't realize those weren't connected. Now, I did see a lot of people in the comments of that last one saying that struts were the way to go, so I'm going to go ahead and strut all these together and see if it makes a difference. You know, Goobers, I'm going to be real with you. I had to step away from my computer for a couple hours, and I came back to this thing, and I don't quite know what's going on, so I'm just going to assume it's ready to be launched. Whatever the hell I was working on at 1 o'clock today, that's great. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the last one did. Although this one angles itself really hard now. Suppose while I'm sitting here watching this go up, I can go ahead and get my... Why is it zooming in? I can go ahead and get some shoutouts out of the way. I got a ton of help. Apparently it's going to keep zooming while I talk. I got a ton of help from some of you nerds in the comments of the last time. We got Calf K625 gave me a whole paragraph or 2 of ideas. Got FO2070 who, you know, I believe in you, love of those. We got that blind ref who says fire video, but please get a better mic. Hopefully this video sounds a little better. My mic's actually not too bad, I just haven't taken the time to tweak through my settings. Also got Monkey2676, phenomenal name, who taught me that oxidizer is the thing that exists. And I look back at my main screen and I'm pretty sure this is about to explode. Are we gonna go back down? I put it on 50 times speed and it exploded, so. Also, I suppose while I'm smacking this together, I would like to give you guys a very heartfelt thank you for the response to that last Kerbal video. It was kind of ridiculous. I think when I posted it, I had something like 30 subs. Last I checked, I'm up to like 60 now. It's probably going to break 2,000 views today. There's like 20 comments of you guys being supportive. It really is a little ridiculous. When my average view count on the channel is something like 150, it's pretty awesome to see. Well, I was about to give you guys an intro to this, but I think I've discovered a slight issue. Give me 1 second. Well, now for the second time since starting this recording, I've had to step away from my computer for a couple hours. So again, hardly remember what I was doing, but I believe this was what I thought was going to get me into orbit. For context, although I'm sure those are wobbly. You know what? If it takes us up, it takes us up. Probably should have strutted those together, but we're still going upwards. We're probably doing just fine. Like I was saying, for context, although I'm sure this video only comes out to be something like 20 minutes long, maybe not even that, this recording's been over the course of about 8 hours. I started recording it just after 2 o'clock, and it's 10:30 at night right now. Well, we are spinning, but I don't think that's really an issue. The point of these boosters is just to get us up above the point where we're fighting gravity too hard before we detach them and activate our main booster down here. We've got Bill, Bob, and Valentina for this one. Jebediah is not with us. This thing doesn't have parachutes. Both of those are wobbly. Let me go ahead and detach those. I saw a comment from, I'm not sure who, I'll see if I can put it up on screen, that says to turn right at 55,000 meters. So that's as close to right as we're gonna get. Okay, how do we stop doing circles? Okay, sped up time a bit. We have stopped spinning now, which is nice, although we are very high above where I meant for us to be. That feels like a decent trajectory, honestly. Again, I think we have the issue of we're spinning again. What is wrong with Kerbal Space Program? I'm assuming we didn't get anywhere near. Oh, wait, we're actually so close to orbiting too. I'm gonna let this play out for a minute. I'll get back with you once I figure out where we're gonna end up, because something tells me we're gonna eat the other side of the world. Yep, time is currently passing 10 times as fast as possible, and it looks like we are going to smoke the continent just before we are able to fully orbit, which is unfortunate. We are horrifically overheating. Okay, well, engines went down, but I mean, technically they were out of fuel. It's just weight reduction. The radiators might have done something, but I can't really tell. Well, my sincerest apologies to the Kerman family, as I stranded one of them in space, and now 3 of them are about to eat shit on the dark side of the world here, but I'm sure they'll be okay. That almost worked how I wanted it to. I think if we can eliminate the wobble between these, then we'll be doing a lot better. Alright, so I have strapped these large boosters to each other to hopefully help out that wobble midair, and I have added a parachute so that these people can, survive. So let's hope that this launch goes a little bit better. We were actually looking really nice. If we can stay straight going up here, it looks like it has helped with the wobble a little bit. If I can go ahead and put her at a bit of an angle now, that should actually help. There we go. Now I just want to maintain this until we're high enough that I can detach the engines, put her forward, and then it's basically just an airplane. Alright, heat's starting to become a bit of an issue, so I'm going to kill the throttle, which you can't do on solid fuel boosters, I now remember. But they should run out here real soon. And then hopefully we can just detach them. Now I'm hoping it's just as simple as putting her forward, turning the engine on, and then bam, we're in orbit. Well, we're not exactly straight, but I think we're close enough that it'll work anyways. No, stop spinning, stop spinning, stop spinning. The controls are very easy. Alright, now we're not going to go full throttle on the booster this time. We just want enough propulsion to get us around the world by a bit. Okay, our trajectory's starting to do what I'd like it to do here. This is very confusing to look at. I'm gonna get motion sick. Well, we are out of fuel, but did we make an... Oh my god, we may have done it. Yup. If I speed it up here, it looks like we have successfully made it into orbit. Yup, if I speed it up and let it rip around a little bit, you will see that we are fully in orbit, which is pretty awesome. Now, I don't have a system for getting her back to the ground from orbit, nor am I even completely sure how you would do. I may have an idea. Give me 1 second, I might be able to pull this off. Alright, I'm honestly not sure if this will work, but I've added 2 very small thrusters that we can wait until almost the entire end to activate. The hope being that once we're up in orbit and have done what we were looking to do, I can point her back at the ground and push them and use them to get us back into orbit. I hope. We'll see if it works. But I will start by getting us back into orbit. You know, I'm not sure why, but it looks like the points between these are detached, which is annoying because that makes it much more difficult to get into orbit with these wobbling. Alrighty. We are now high enough. Meaning once we straighten out here, I will activate our next booster. Alrighty. Now it should just... Let me adjust our roll just a bit here. There we go. And just a little bit of throttle, and we should be able to push our way back around the planet, same as we did last time. Starting to come a little off course here, seeing if I can correct it. But, oh, wow. The controls are very unwieldy. Let me kill the engines real quick and let this play out a little bit. Okay, well, it seems farther attempts to reach orbit have failed horrifically. Well, I've managed to stop the spin, but I fear we may be too far gone to give this any chance of making it into orbit. We are pretty rapidly approaching this, so let's at least try and get over to the land there so we can make a safer-ish landing. I didn't mean to press that. Alright, well, tilt up towards the land and hope we make it. Oh no, this has gone horribly. These here are solid fuel boosters. I can't turn these off. Oh no. What just blew up, exactly? Oh, all the boosters are off. I can't honestly tell what blew up. Oh, looks like it may have been the things I was using to disconnect the others. Well, let's at least try and get our parachute out here and see if we can save this. Well, our parachute's caught the wind, but we are real heavy and not slowing down fast enough. Plus, we're not built to land in the water. Now, listen, I know how this looks. If you watched the last video, you should remember me trying to end it by sending Jebediah deep into space, and it just did not work. Luckily, this episode I did send him, and he's up there somewhere, probably a frozen corpse. But I figured to send out this one, I've tried to remake a much better version of the craft I tried to do that with in the first video, and I'll be sending his brother Bill up instead. This thing is honestly awesome. Wait, this is so cool. To be clear, this is one-time speed. He's just spinning that. How do things look from him? Oh, dear God. Is that a compass that's doing that? There goes our fuel. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did watch this far, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. And I mean, if this video does half as well as the first one, you can definitely expect to see more Kerbal on this channel. But that's all I got for you today. Goodbye.